Hi guys, I'm here in Chicagoland and it's cold. It's been cold. There was one nice day actually. It was still cold, but at least the sun was out. And today is the same. It's nice and sunny, but it's very cold. It's getting down to like 20 degrees at night, so that's a little painful. But I'm trying to keep my spirits up. And today I'm making one of my comfort foods, which is Egg Foo Young. I assume all of you have had Egg Foo Young, but I would bet that not all of you have made Egg Foo Young. And it's actually very easy. So let's dig in. So today I am visiting with my grandma who lives out in the suburbs. And this is just a little park near where she lives. It's actually right next to where she lives. It's pretty big. This is just one part of it. Mostly just people bring their dogs here, and then there's a playground and some sports fields. But she lives right over there. You know, it's pretty. I don't want to mess up her kitchen. So I'm going to cook in the park. Well, cook in my van in the park. So what goes into Egg Foo Young? Obviously eggs. But other than that, you can kind of do what you want to do. So I like cabbage, onion, that's mushroom, and that's the solid part of the green onions, the white bits. There's going to be a little bit of ham, which could easily be omitted. If you want to go vegetarian, it would be just as delicious. But I had this naturally raised ham, so use it up. Green onions will go on the top after it's cooked. And then bean sprouts. You don't need bean sprouts necessarily, but I think it's, for me, it's an essential ingredient. But it will still come out if you just use the cabbage and the onion, and yeah, you know, all of these are interchangeable. You could also put in some broccoli or bean sprouts or pea pods, or did I say bean sprouts again? I meant to say sugar snap peas or snow peas, or it's really up to you. It's gonna work no matter what you do. And of course, I'm going to use coconut aminos and black pepper, garlic powder, and coconut oil. And that's about it. So I'm just going to get the pan going and throw the vegetables. Well, I'm going to put in the mushrooms, the onions, and the cabbage first and saute it, get those sauteing. So I heated up some coconut oil in the pan. Maybe a tablespoon, I don't really know. Like you guys know, I don't measure anything. And go the onion and the mushroom. My cabbage is so thinly sliced that I'm going to let these saute for a minute before I put the cabbage in, because I think the cabbage will cook very quickly. It's really thinly cut. I'm going to put in the white bits of the green onion. So I have this under or over kind of a medium-low heat. And I've let this stuff cook just a little bit, and now I'm going to dump in the cabbage. I'm not going to add extra salt because the coconut aminos will add a good amount of salt for me. You can definitely add salt to your vegetables if you want it a little bit on the saltier side. Now you can definitely substitute soy sauce for the coconut aminos, but remember, soy sauce has quite a bit more salt than even the coconut aminos have. So if you're putting in if you're putting in soy sauce, I would not put in extra salt. Soy sauce is so insanely salty. So I turned up the heat a little bit because I wasn't hearing much sizzle. So right now it's about medium heat. I want to hear that sizzling. So other options you could add to this. If you like sesame oil, you could add toasted sesame oil. It would give it a lot of extra flavor if you enjoy that flavor. I do like it in small amounts, but I don't have any at this time, so I will not be using it. And you could definitely add spicy stuff if you want. Perhaps a little red chili flakes. I think I'm going to skip that this time. I think I'm going to eat this with a little bit of hot sauce. And yeah, if you wanted to add ginger, you could do that. So, as long as, don't add anything weird. I know some of you aren't great at cooking and want to get better. Don't add rosemary or dill or marjoram or something like that to this concoction and expect it to taste anything like you would get from a Chinese restaurant. Stick with the garlic and black pepper, things like that. Speaking of black pepper, I am almost out of black pepper in my shaker here. One-handed grinding, that's always fun. I'm going to be making this Egg Foo Young without gravy. The gravy is kind of easy to make, but I don't really have the right ingredients, or, well, I'm missing 2 ingredients. All you really have to do is take beef broth, that's traditional, or you could do whatever broth you want, I suppose, and added some coconut aminos or soy sauce, and then add a little slurry of arrowhead root powder or cornstarch, something like that. And a slurry is just putting a little bit of water and the starch together, just so when you add it to the broth, it doesn't clump up and give you big clumps. Yeah, that's all it really takes. But it's delicious on its own too, and you could eat other things with it, like hot sauce. So this is just about done. The cabbage is starting to get a little bit of brown edges, which is so yummy. Adds a lot of flavor when you start to caramelize the onion and the cabbage. The mushrooms look like they're pretty much cooked. This has shrunken down quite a bit, which is good. And yeah, so now I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to get my my eggs going. You know, but first, I'm going to put the ham in here. Now, you can put any sort of meat you want. Pork, I think, always adds a lot of flavor. But if you have like some leftover rotisserie chicken, or I don't know, leftover steak, or got some other kinds of pork products you want to shove in here, go for it. Shrimp, also really good. Don't forget about shrimp. Shrimp is delicious. So I'm just going to let this ham kind of heat up a little bit. So into this pretty large mixing bowl, I'm going to put 4 eggs, crack 4 eggs. Okay, so I have my 4 eggs in the bowl, and I'm going to add, oh, this is a brand new bottle of coconut aminos, which means the little lid thing is in there, a little cover. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to put a few dashes of coconut aminos into the eggs. You guys do to your taste. Remember, soy sauce, it's much stronger, so go easy. And then some garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic if you'd like, for sure. I like a decent amount of garlic powder in there. And then A little more black pepper. And I think that's it. First, yeah. So I'm going to whisk those things together in here. I'm just using a fork. If you're fancy, use a whisk or some other contraption. Okay, and then I'm going to dump in bean sprouts, which have not cooked yet. You can go light on the bean sprouts or heavy on the bean sprouts. Nice thing is they add like a bit of crunch to this, some more texture, which is always needed. And then the cabbage, onion, mushroom, ham mixture, which is still warm and smells really delicious, by the way. I could just eat a plate of the cabbage. Cabbage is really one of my favorite things in the world if it's cooked well. I love cabbage. And it's so cheap and very nutritious. So all the egg mixture that's coming out of the edges, just kind of push it back in. You want it to kind of keep a pancake-like shape, kind of like a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. So the tricky part is that you're gonna have to flip this baby. That might be challenging. I haven't done this in a while. I was getting really good at flipping things, like just with the hand motion in the pan. I was doing a lot of cooking before I hit the road, yeah, I was getting awesome at like doing omelets and things like that. But I'm out of practice, and so we'll see what happens. You may want to make some smaller sized ones, because then it would be much easier to flip. You can use like a pancake flipper if you like to use that. That might be easier. I use just these large kind of flat silicone spoons for everything, like flipping eggs and things in the pan. So I think you probably cook this about 2 or 3 minutes per side. This is almost done on this side, I think. You can sort of bring up the side and peek underneath. Yeah, and it's starting to get a little bit brown, which is what you want. You don't want to undercook this. You want it to start to brown on the bottom. So yeah, this is going to be a challenge. I apologize in advance because I think this is going to break. I made it a little too big. Well, not too bad, actually. It broke a little bit. So whatever sort of popped out while you were flipping this baby, just sort of reshape it, reform it. It'll be fine. I'm kind of doing a low-carb thing. I was doing kind of like the keto diet with Carolyn a while back, and it was working, but now I'm just kind of doing a straightforward low-carb but very high vegetable diet, and it's working. I haven't weighed myself in a while. The last time I weighed myself, I think I was down 10 pounds. And now I bet you it's quite a bit more because of just how I feel, you know, like how my clothes are fitting and such. So then just flip that baby onto a plate, and don't forget your green onions. If you're me, tons of green onions. Everything's optional. You know, even, you know, some like chopped cilantro I think would be good on this. Or, yeah, I don't know. Get creative. It's not all going to work. You're not going to love everything you do if you're getting creative with your dishes. But I bet you more often than not you will like it. So, doesn't that look good? Yum. It almost looks like a regular pancake. Not an egg pancake. Could be a blueberry pancake even. Nope, those are mushrooms, not blueberries. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna eat this with a little sriracha. This is really delicious. The earthiness of the mushrooms and a little bit of sweetness from the coconut aminos and the crunch from those bean sprouts. I highly recommend that you try this dish. It's pretty simple. It's delicious. It's something different. If you have Chinese food lovers in your family, maybe they'd appreciate this. So thank you guys. Thank you all for watching, and see you down the road. Bye from Chicago.